Hello, welcome to this week's How's the Market, Pensacola. Well, a 40-year mortgage. A 40-year mortgage. That's what actually just came out in the paper. Ginnie Mae's actually talking about putting a 40-year mortgage out there as part of the solution of people coming out of forbearance. That way we can lower payments. So here's the question. How long until that actually hits the regular market? And we're talking about FHA loans, VA loans, Fannie, Freddie. These are government-backed loans, right? And now we're looking at a 40-year amortization. What does that do? That lowers your payment some. I can tell you back in 05, 06, when I owned a mortgage company, that we had 50-year loans out on the West Coast. All right, and when I was doing stuff out West, it was a 50-year loan. Now, the kicker, the difference was then and now, that 50-year loan actually ballooned, what they call ballooned in 30 years. So at the 30-year mark, 360-month mark, everything that was left was owed. So you basically had to refinance if you didn't have it all built up. This, what Ginnie Mae's talking about now, and we're not going to see it just yet. They said at the earliest we could possibly see it if it gets approved through the FHA board, is going to be October of this year. But like I said, how soon? This product's built for folks coming out of forbearance to make sure we get there, but how soon until we actually see it in the marketplace? That is just going to be another reason why we're going to continue to see prices higher, because this is going to continue to increase demand from buyers. Because if I can put a $300,000 house on a 40-year mortgage and the rates are in the threes, then my payments are going to be much, much lower than what I'm paying in rent. Now, the folks objecting to this are going to say, well, you're never going to pay off a loan if it's at 40 years. Well, most mortgages are not paid all the way through to the end of their term anyways. What's going to be interesting, and let me just back up. I think that they're not paid through because people move or people refinance or they take cash out. So most mortgages are not paid all the way through to their fruition anyway. So I'm not really as concerned about that. What I will find interesting though, is since this also includes VA loans. VA is one of the few loans out there that you can still assume. What does that mean? That means me as a veteran, I can go to someone else who has used their VA loan. That veteran has the loan on it. They've been paying on it, let's say 6 years. I have the cash to pay the difference from what they owe and what I'm paying the place for. I still have to qualify from the lender, but assume their mortgage that's got 6 years worth of payments on it. Right now, that would be a 30-year note, which means I would only have 24 years left, all right? And if the rates are much lower, great. So let's fast forward and say 5, 6, 7 years from now, interest rates are in the 5s and 6s, but I could assume someone's mortgage in 3s or 2s. Well, if I had the cash, that might make a bunch of sense. So the fact that these 40-year mortgages also includes VA, which could be assumable, could be something very interesting to pay attention to. Again, we're not going to see it right now. It's after 4th of July here on the Gulf Coast, and we're not going to see anything until at least October, which would be the 2022 fiscal year for the government. But the fact it's even being brought up now as just the forbearance pool, but as soon as the investors see those actually profitable, yeah, there's no doubt in my mind that if that works, we'll see 40-year mortgages hit our marketplace, which will help buyers if we can get some inventory. Speaking of inventory, if you've watched the show at any length of time over the last 6 months, I've been saying after about the 4th of July, typically, not 2020, because 2020 was a weird year, but typically we start to see a decline in inventory, which I've been afraid of. Why don't we take a look at our 2 counties right now? Let's go. All right, if you've never seen the show, you don't know, I always start with this slide right here. It says if we have between 6 and 7 months, we have what's called a neutral market. Anything greater than 7 months is considered a buyer's market. Anything less than 6 months is considered a seller's market. What the slide does not say. Anything greater than 9 is considered a hyper buyer's market. Anything less than 3 is considered a hyper seller's market. We jump over to Escambia County and looky. We've actually gone down in inventory. There is only one price point, that 550,000 to 600,000, that is out of the hyper sellers. Even our luxury 700,000 plus is down in a hyper sellers again. So this looks like almost what Santa Rosa County was. If you remember that we had 3 price points here. We were starting to gain some inventory, but now it's after 4th of July. This is what I worry about. I've been talking about low inventory to begin with all year. Now we get the seasonal low or tumble down in inventory, right? That gives me a concern. And like I said, anything up to 350,000 is under a month's inventory, with the exception being we have seen a pickup of inventory between 50 and 100,000. Now I've also seen that starting to be just land. Hey, here's some lots at 100,000 or whatever. But we do have 1.2 months there. There are 2 properties under $50,000. Both of those are lots. And the most property, it looks like it's tied this week. 150,000 to 200,000 has 61 active, whereas 250,000 to 300,000 has 61 active. Some of these are builders. But if you look, 200,000 to 250,000 has 206 pending. So this is the most pending. And that's also why it's 0.4 months. We got half a month. I don't get some more inventory at this level, I will be done before August shows up. I won't have any more houses. That's Escambia County. Let's jump over to Santa Rosa and see what happens. It looks like everything up to $650,000 is a hyper sellers, and 650,000 plus, according to our definition, is just a sellers. Now, if you look, this 650,000 to 700,000 is right at 3 months. But our definition says anything under 3 months. So 3 months is considered just a seller's, whereas the inventory of luxury in Santa Rosa County is 3.5 months. And look, there's 56 active properties in Santa Rosa County in luxury. It's the first time I've seen this. There's only 43 in Escambia County, luxury. So that's a little switch. Some of the luxury stuff's coming up in Santa Rosa County, whereas it's not as much in Escambia County. So that's our numbers this week. I'm going to try and keep this a little short. I did want to make sure that I plugged in our instant offer program one more time, because I've gotten call after call. Even over the 4th of July, I had somebody call me. They are inheriting a property. It's the courts are assigning it to them here in a week or two, and they wanted to find out what it's worth, period, because they know it's in a lot of disarray and they live in California. So they said, I can't come back to Florida to fix it up. I don't know anybody. So let's talk about an instant offer. That instant offer worked for them. Someone else actually called me about an instant offer, and that program didn't work, but I was able to show them how we can get them much, much more through a different program. So if you're looking at even selling it and you want to get the option of, hey, what can I do without doing anything? You know, this property needs quite a bit of work, or I've inherited it, or, you know, there was a fire or whatever. I don't have the work or the capital to do that. What would be an instant offer, and what would the market give me if I did fix it up? That way we can compare the two. There is a link below for how the instant offers work. So click on that link, check it out, and we can chat. It's very, very simple. Anyways, I hope you had a good July 4th. I did pick up some of those fireworks that were probably not supposed to, and one of them went sideways on me. So that was fun. My wife caught some good video, which I will not be sharing here. Thanks for watching. Have a great week. I'm a man on a mission. My mission is to help people break through all the noise out there and don't need no permission. I want to help you get to actual truth. Don't you just want the truth?